In the world of reality television, few shows evoke the passion and loyalty that American Idol commands. With each passing season, viewers are introduced to a new wave of talent, but they're also confronted with the brutal decisions that come with the competition. The stakes are always high, and sometimes, the reactions from fans reflect the intensity of those stakes. In recent weeks, one such moment of disappointment has sent shockwaves through the American Idol community, leaving a growing wave of outrage among its viewers. The buzz started when the top 3 finalists for this season were revealed. But instead of excitement, joy, and celebration, fans were left in a cloud of confusion and anger. Jamal Roberts, one of the standout contestants who had consistently wowed judges with his incredible vocal range and emotional performances, was not in the top 3. Instead, Carrie Underwood, a beloved idol and former winner, became the center of this storm. It was a moment that no one saw coming. Jamal, a fan favorite who had captured hearts with his powerful voice, was eliminated just shy of the finale. His performances had touched millions. His journey from humble beginnings to a star on the American Idol stage was nothing short of extraordinary. Jamal had faced adversity and pushed through every challenge, growing stronger with each note. And yet, in a shocking twist, he was sent home. The outrage was immediate. Fans took to social media, voicing their disbelief and anger. How could Jamal not be in the top 3? They asked. This isn't about talent anymore, others said, feeling as though the essence of American Idol had been lost. For many, this wasn't just about the competition. It was about recognizing raw, undeniable talent and the belief that Jamal had earned his place in the final round. Jamal's fans were not just angry, they were heartbroken. The love and admiration they had for him were evident in the messages they posted, their voices rising in support of an artist they believed had been robbed of a well-deserved victory. They didn't just see a contestant in Jamal. They saw someone who had the potential to inspire the world with his music, someone whose journey would have been the perfect story of triumph. But what made this situation even more emotional for many was Carrie Underwood's involvement. As a former American Idol winner and a staple of country music, Carrie had long since earned a position of respect in the music industry. Yet, her presence in this season seemed to carry a weight of expectation, and in the eyes of many fans, it overshadowed the fresh faces and budding talent that the show was supposed to spotlight. For those who were advocating for Jamal, Carrie's role in the current season felt like a reminder of past glories rather than a celebration of current achievements. While Carrie's contributions to the world of music are undeniable, there was a growing sentiment that the show should have been focused on discovering the next big star, not simply glorifying the past. And with Jamal's elimination, the balance of the show seemed off. Fans couldn't understand why an established name like Carrie, with her legacy and accomplishments, was taking the spotlight from a deserving talent like Jamal. This situation wasn't just about one contestant's dream being dashed. It symbolized a deeper issue within the world of competitive reality shows, the question of whether established fame and legacy should have precedence over raw talent. It made people wonder if the public's love for Carrie, who had already tasted the glory of American Idol victory, had clouded their judgment. How could a show that prided itself on giving underdogs a chance miss the opportunity to let Jamal's voice be heard in the finale? Fans of Jamal Roberts felt cheated. They felt that the show's producers had failed to recognize a star in the making. For those who had followed Jamal's journey, his top 3 spot was not a question of if, but when. They had invested so much emotion into his story, they had seen the hours of work he put in, the determination he displayed. To them, it seemed like the show had given up on him too soon. The emotional pain of the fans was amplified by the sense of betrayal. Jamal was more than just another contestant. He was a symbol of everything American Idol stood for. He represented the underdog, the artist who fought for his place in the world. And when the announcement came, many fans couldn't help but feel that the show had failed to uphold those values. The emotional connection they had with Jamal was deep, and they weren't ready to let go of that connection. Their grief was palpable. In the hours that followed the top 3 announcement, an outpouring of support flooded the internet. Fans posted videos, shared heartfelt messages, and rallied together to express their dismay. But as the anger and sadness simmered, there was also a sense of unity. The people who had championed Jamal rallied around him, affirming that his journey was far from over. They were determined to see him succeed, even if American Idol couldn't give him the platform they felt he deserved. In their eyes, Jamal was already a winner. The show had simply failed to recognize it. As the days passed, the conversation only grew louder. Fans began to question the integrity of the competition. American Idol had always promised to be a platform for discovering the next big talent. But when it eliminated one of the most exciting and unique voices to ever grace the stage, many began to wonder if the show had lost its way. It wasn't just about the top three anymore, it was about what American Idol represented. Had it become a game of politics, a machine focused on ratings and legacy rather than discovering talent? Jamal Roberts' story was far from over. His fans knew this. They knew that his voice had the power to captivate, to inspire, and to make an impact far beyond the American Idol stage. But the heartbreak of his elimination left an indelible mark on those who had hoped to see him go all the way. The story of Jamal's journey was a painful reminder of how sometimes even the most deserving of talents can be overlooked in a world that thrives on spectacle and legacy. But for every heartbreak, there is a glimmer of hope. Jamal's supporters knew that the music industry was waiting for someone like him. They weren't ready to let him slip into the background just because a competition couldn't see his potential. His talent wasn't defined by the judges or the show, it was his gift, his art, and it would resonate with those who heard it. And in the end, that was all that mattered. Through all the pain and frustration, one thing was clear: Jamal Roberts was far more than a contestant on American Idol. He was a force to be reckoned with, and no elimination could take that away. His voice would continue to inspire, his story would continue to unfold, and his fans would continue to support him, no matter where his journey led. Because in the hearts of those who believed in him, Jamal was already a star. The waves of anger over Jamal Roberts' elimination grew louder, with fans demanding answers from American Idol and questioning its commitment to showcasing new talent. But beyond the outrage, a sense of solidarity began to take shape. Fans of Jamal, many of whom had never met him but felt as though they had been on this journey with him, rallied in ways that were nothing short of inspiring. They started petitioning for his return, sharing the hashtag Justice for Jamal, and flooding social media with their heartfelt pleas. Jamal himself, though undoubtedly hurt by the decision, remained composed. His humility shone through even in the face of adversity. His social media posts, though brief, were filled with gratitude toward his fans, his fellow contestants, and the judges who had believed in him. He acknowledged the pain of not making it to the final, but he also emphasized that his journey was far from over. Jamal's words were a balm for the wounded hearts of his fans. He reminded them that the show was just one step in his journey, and there were many more to come. But for many, the heartache was too raw. The notion that someone as gifted as Jamal could be cut short while other contestants, though talented in their own right, didn't have the same undeniable connection with the audience was a tough pill to swallow. There was a growing sentiment that the show had become more about who could generate buzz than about finding true artistry. As the show progressed toward its finale, fans were torn between watching in hopes of a deserving winner emerging or tuning out in protest of what they felt was a broken system. The emotional backlash against Carrie Underwood's involvement was not aimed at her as an artist. It was a reflection of how the structure of American Idol had evolved into something unrecognizable to its original fans. Carrie's success and her iconic status in country music had earned her a place on the stage, but many felt her inclusion felt almost like a given, a crutch to fill up airtime rather than an exciting new twist. Jamal's fans saw his talent as unparalleled, and while Carrie was a household name, they felt her story had already been written. She had already lived the dream of American Idol, won the crown, and built a stellar career. And here was Jamal, the next big star in the making, on the verge of being overshadowed by that very legacy. The cries for justice were not about dismissing Carrie's success, but about making sure that the show didn't lose sight of the new voices that made American Idol a discovery show in the first place. But as fans continued to rally for Jamal, the reality settled in. Jamal might not have made it to the final three, but the music world was paying attention. Whether American Idol acknowledged his talent or not, he had already captured hearts across the country. This was just the beginning of his journey, and no amount of outrage or anger could define him. It was Jamal's heart, his passion, and his artistry that would set him apart in the end. And so, as American Idol carried on with its usual pace, Jamal's fans found a new mission, not to fight the show's decisions, but to continue supporting the artist they knew would one day rise above it all. Jamal Roberts was a name people would be hearing for years to come, and no reality competition, no matter how popular, could change that fact. The journey was long, but for Jamal, the best was yet to come.